and welcome to Askimo TV. We're sitting today with Roger Golten, otherwise known as Dr. Posture. So we're talking about posture. And Roger, what we're going to discuss today is how we sit and get in and out of our chair better, which seems like a fairly obvious thing to do, but we'd like to get your advice on the best way to do that.
Yes, thank you, Alicia. It's actually a very interesting question. We all know how to sit, we all know how to stand, and we all get in and out of our chairs all the time. In fact, probably some of us do it 50 or 100 times a day. I don't know about any other language, but in the English language, there isn't a word for the process of getting out of a chair or the process of getting into a chair. There's sitting and there's standing, and there's sit down and stand up. But there isn't a sort of we don't have a mental construction for this process. It's sort of like it should be a verb, shouldn't it? The process of sitting down and the process of standing up. And actually, it turns out these things are quite important because we're all doing it all the time, and if you can't, if there's no language for it, then nobody's thinking about it. So I'd like to have us think about it. I'm going to demonstrate, if I may. Let's see. Yeah, here's the edge of my treatment table. Now I'm standing up, and I'm going to sit down. But before I sit down, I'm going to just think about how I'm going to do this. And I'll show you what people do generally is they start to sit, and then they decide that the chair is there, and they fall into the chair. Boom. And quite often end up like that, like a sack of potatoes. And when they stand up, it's kind of the opposite. Well, no, it's not the opposite. You shorten your back. You shorten your back to lift yourself up. And you fall into that chair again, and you shorten your back. Now, if you do that enough times, I'm sure you're going to get a problem. I've got a different scenario, and it's based on squatting. Now, so if I was turned the other way and there was no chair, I would, and I was going to sit down, and I didn't fall. I didn't end up squatting, yeah? So I want you to think about, next time you sit down, that you keep your weight on your feet. There's no point of no return. It's a soft landing. Okay, and stand up, 2 stages. Number 1 stage, transfer your weight forward before you lift your bottom onto your feet, and then push down into the ground, and that stands you up. Now this might seem a strange thing, but you're working with gravity, and you're taking all the strain off your back. Because in order to stand up and sit down, I'm actually using my quadricep muscles, my thigh muscles, the biggest muscles in your body. So use those muscles. It's like a squat, and save your back. Because if you're standing up like shortening your back, you're going to tense up your back. So imagine there's no chair, and then once you feel that surface with your bottom, then transfer your weight onto it. So it's 2 stages. Number 1 stage, get your weight on your feet. Number 2 stage, push down into the ground. And reverse, number 1 stage, lower yourself towards the surface, and the number 2 stage, transfer your weight onto that surface. So nobody can pull the rug out from underneath you anymore.
So if we're getting into better habits, what does that do for us? Can that start to alleviate tensions and pains?
Very much so. I think overusing our backs. I think, I have a sort of simplistic idea about back pain. A lot of people say, well, nobody understands what back pain is, where it comes from, why do so many people suffer from it. I believe that back pain comes from your back basically working too hard. And you've got to use your front as well as your back. So life's all about balance. And good posture is about having the front and the back the same length. Then you're effortlessly upright. Yeah. If your front is short, like from all that habit of sitting badly for so long, then your back is going to get very tight to hold up your front, and then it's going to start complaining. So if you start to use your body well in the way that you sit down and stand up, you can start to alleviate that. You can start to activate your abdominal muscles, because as you stand up out of that squat, you're activating your abdominal muscles, your deep abdominal muscles especially, and they're the ones that should be protecting your back. If your belly's hanging out and you're hoiking yourself up with your back, you're just exacerbating your tight back and making it tighter, and you're not giving your front muscles a chance to operate.
Okay, well, Roger, thank you very much for having us re-examine the way we stand up and sit down, which we're going to have to take another look at. So thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, very welcome.